one of the most exciting plays of the playoffs so far in the NFL would be what? Well, give me just like off the top of your head. I'll give you one.
Whoa.
I'll give you one.
Thanks, Rich.
You got one?
Literally one play got me off the couch. Like, whoa! Got me off the couch.
I think I know.
I screamed out loud from my couch on the Saturday night.
Like Network.
Of Super Wild Card Weekend.
Super.
Taylor Heineke. From the middle of the pocket. Buccaneers all around him. Buzzing all around. Looks like he's about to get sacked. No, Taylor Heineke escapes. And he leaps for the pylon and hits it with the football. Touchdown. I'm like, whoa! Thank goodness for Taylor Heineke. It hit the pylon and didn't come out of his hands and roll through the back of the end zone because the defense that was bending and breaking for Tampa Bay would have been bailed out. That's what it is. It's called a bailout. It's a bailout. It's a bailout because if Taylor Heineke is reaching for that pylon and it gets knocked out right before the pylon goes right out of bounds, guess what? Taylor Heineke gets the ball. You get to keep the ball if it's out at the 1 inch line. But if it's 3 more inches on the other side of the pylon, you do not get to keep it because it's such a precious piece of real estate. 100 yards of NFL real estate. Go ahead and fumble it out of bounds anywhere you want, offense, because you get the ball back. You get the ball back. If it's at the end of a half, the end of a game, you cannot get it from where it rolls out of bounds. You have to get it from where you fumbled it. Not if it gets knocked out in the field of play and happens to roll the wrong way and then out of bounds. Out of bounds. Then the defense that is on its heels, the defense that has no standing in this drive because the other team is right on the precipice of scoring, guess what? You get a football. You get a football. You get a possession. You get the offense. Come on back out. Come on back out. Offense that just drove the field. I'm so sorry. Because if the ball had rolled out a few inches towards you, you still have the ball. Stupid ass rule. Worst rule in football. There's nothing that comes anywhere close.
SAR.
It is an SAR. Stupid ass rule. And you can't explain it. You can't explain it. You can't explain it. Again, they fixed the catch rule because Nickelodeon was able to explain to 5, 6, 7-year-olds what a catch is. Try and explain that to somebody. So wait a minute. You get to keep the ball if it rolls out anywhere between the pylons out of bounds. But once it's beyond the pylon and out of bounds, you don't get to keep it. Why? Well, it's the end zone. That's the most precious territory on the field. That's why you get 6 points for getting in there. Oh, okay. Now it makes sense. What?
I'm a 54-year-old and
What?
I can't understand that.
Why is that so hard to understand?
What?
It's terrible.
Why don't you
Are you
get the
stone
ball
cold over
back?
there, Rich?
Why don't you
What?
get the ball back where you fumble it? If you want to make it a penalty because it's such precious territory, and by the way, penalizing with a stupid-ass rule, people who are going all out, trying to score, get you off the couch, like Taylor Heineke. No, don't do that. Don't do that. You might fumble it. Don't be aggressive. Let's take aggressivity out of the most aggressive sport we have. Stupid-ass rule on every possible way. No. Don't try and get me off the couch. You might fumble it because if you fumble it here, you can still get the ball. You fumble it there, just right there, or where? Just a few inches in front? Yeah. If you fumble it there, you lose the ball. And the defense that has no bailout, gets bailed out. Why not, if you want to make it a penalty, why not just say, okay, if that was on a third down play, let's just use Rashard Higgins, for instance, okay? He gets a first down on that play, right? He's a first down, correct? All right. Let's say it's a third down play and you fumble it through. Put the ball on the 15-yard line and say it's now first and goal or third and goal from that spot. You fumble it, goes through the end zone. Guess what? You lose 15 yards. You don't get it right there. You lose 15 yards. So now third and goal from the 15 or first and goal from the 15. So the team that fumbles it through still has a chance to maybe score a touchdown. If it's third and goal and third down, well, then guess what? Now you can only get a field goal potentially out of it. But you get to keep the football. Do something. It's so stupid.
Yeah, do something. Don't fumble.
No. Don't sit here
What
and
do you
say
mean?
don't
why
fumble.
why when someone does something stupid, it's the rule's fault and not the person for doing the stupid thing?
Because in this instance, you're argument, and I knew you were going to make it, makes no sense because
What are you talking
because the
about?
fumble was illegally caused yesterday, Chris.
Oh,
The guy,
two guys diving and their helmets collide? That is a happenstance of the sport of football.
That's leading with
bad.
the helmet.
the guy who hit Higgins had his helmet down. He did not see what he hit. By rule, that is a penalty. So in this case, the two things I rail against happened on the same play. So if you let me fix it, that should have been reviewable. Last 2 minutes, Al Riveron should have buzzed in or wherever the hell it happened. The Browns could have thrown the challenge flag. That should be a 15-yard penalty. First down, Cleveland. Now, would it have been from the spot of the fumble? Or would it have been, it would have been from the spot of the play. 15 yards, first down, Cleveland. Wipe out the play. You get the 15 yards. And then forget about fumbling through the end zone anymore. Stupid play. You can't say don't fumble the ball. He wasn't going for it and then losing it because he's reaching for it. He lost it because somebody came in with the crown of his helmet and hit him.
He lost it because he dove for the pylon. Don't dive.
Why?
Belichick teaches his players. The McCourties tweeted it out yesterday.
No, I know that. I know that.
Don't
And so
dive.
Stefanski
Don't
says the same
dive.
thing.
That's
Don't
a horrible.
dive.
So you don't want, okay. Somebody who loves the sport
But
as much
don't
as
do
you.
something stupid, and then when the bad thing happens, blame the rule because you did stupid. Don't do stupid.
Don't do stupid.
It's
I'm saying
really
stupid. That's
easy.
what I'm saying. Don't do stupid.
These guys are going 100 miles per hour, right? They're competitive.
No, but I understand what you're saying, and I appreciate what you're saying too, Chris.
Competitors,
Is that you could still be competitive but play smart competitive football because certain teams don't do it and other teams do.
Right.
And I say, I don't care. I know it's tough to have an argument with somebody who says I don't care about your well thought out point because this rule book is a stupid rule. And I will never be convinced otherwise.
And here's the other thing.
And that's it.
Every
because
rule
this guy
change
was
that
not.
happens in the league favors the offense. Every single one. Every single one. Why can't you just let the defense have this one?
Because it doesn't deserve. They don't deserve it.
Why?
Because you can't even tell me why it's the rule in the first place. Why is it the rule? Why is it the rule?
Why is driving 55 miles an hour the speed limit?
Well, you got to be safe.
Safe. Yeah, it's safety.
I will never
Then
be
why-
convinced
why is it
otherwise.
35 and other?
The
Like,
two
come on.
things, I couldn't believe it. And by the way, the number of people that texted me, you were first. Congratulations.
I was first?
Yes, you were.
Yes, thank you.
Kurt Warner was second on a game day morning. Okay. Ian Rappaport tweeted me. Peter King texted me, all that stuff. Do you know who called me?
Who?
Al Riveron, the head of NFL refs.
Because he knew.
He called me in between the games. As soon as the Kansas
Oh,
City
nice.
Browns game was over. He didn't do it in,
Well, he had
in
some
the middle of
time.
it.
Yeah.
He called me. He called me after the game. There's your rule. There's your rule. Says the head of NFL refs. He knows how stupid I think it is.
But he has come here before in studio.
I know.
And
He's explained to me why it is and why it will never get changed. And I don't care, is what I'm saying. I don't care.
But that's not a good
Because
argument.
I was told that over and over and over again by one of Al's predecessors about the tuck rule. I was told about that over and over and over again by Mike Pereira about the tuck rule being important because it removes the gray area between when somebody is considered throwing it and running it. And I always responded to Mike that the concept of about to throw it and then bring it down is the actual line of demarcation. That's the when you say I am throwing, but I'm bringing it down to run it, is the clear intention of no longer intending to throw. You don't need to have this motion as the gray area, as some sort of transition period between throwing and running. This whole bringing it down should not be a transition period. It's actually the line that you've crossed. It's not a gray area that you, with this stupid ass rule, are putting in. No, is all I was told. And guess what? I was right all
But these
along.
two things are not the
They
same.
are, because I'm fully in my gut knowing I'm right. And the last time I felt like this was the catch rule. That got changed. And then before that was the tuck rule. That got changed. What I'm saying is right now, you think I'm 2 for 3, but I'm hitting 1,000. or you just got shown up by the host. No, I haven't shown him up because there's a ton of people like him who also think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, okay? And this is just the sports version of that. And that there's tons of people who do believe what Chris is saying. He's not saying like he's got a tinfoil hat on his head. And I know people look at me like I've got the tinfoil hat on my head. All I know is that I've been down this road before about a rule. And I am hitting 3 for 3. And one day,
I hope I'm there.
One day.
If it happens, I hope
Cage Brockman at either the high school level or college level as Syracuse is back on top.
Oh, we're back.
Or the Patriots turn into Cage Brockman. He is going to, without care or concern, reach out for that pylon and score for dear old dad and his team. And you're going to be, Rich was right.
No, because I'm going to teach him not to dive for the pylon.
My point is the rule will have been changed by then,
Just
Chris.
because you don't like something doesn't mean it has to be changed. Change the way you behave.
No, see, that's what sheep say. I'm a lion.
Gosh.
I'm a lion.
Ooh.
I'm a lion. I look at things and say, not about why not. Why not now is what I'm saying. Yep.
Why do I get pulled over for speeding? Change the speed limit. Like,
no,
or don't speed.
That's not it. That's not it.
Bro, to use the argument, like you're going 100 miles per hour out there. You're
then
on
why
that
do
field
other teams not do this?
That's a lot of teams do it. Derek Carr keeps doing it to his detriment. I've lost track of how many times he's fumbled through the end zone. It happens. It keeps happening, and every single time it happens. I say err on the side of allowing the aggressive play in football. Do it. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.